Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I am your host, Chantel Sierra Tisha Kim, coming in again for day number 147. Welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you in the space. I am your host, Chantel Sierra Tisha Kim, coming in to do our daily energy reading. As you know, I tap into ancestral wisdom. I use tarot, oracle cards, and my own divine intuition to tap into the energy of today. So today we are talking about alignment. And the title is Alignment, Please. This is a simple request. This is how we begin to live our best, okay? We're going to ring it in. Calling in all of the ancestors, guides, those who support us from the other side, all the ancestral energy, all the benevolence, all the guides and spirits that choose to show up. So yes, let's tap in. I'm welcoming you all into the space as we go ahead and start. As two cards just jumped out, and it's so funny that these two we've already talked about, okay? So we're going to say, fill your cup. Alignment, please. Building partnerships with those who light your fire, okay? Y'all seen I was shuffling these. I'm always shuffling the deck, and I'm always using them. But the spirit says, I meant what I said when the cards come out. So we just let them come, and we'll go with the flow and find out what we don't already know, okay? So the first two cards are out. Normally I pull 7 cards. Here's another one. As the Hierophant shows up, being your own guru, your own guide, knowing that everything you need is inside. Another deck showed up, so we're going to take all these. They turned over face up. As we plant our seeds, we've planted the harvest, and now it is time to begin to get your fruit. As you show up as the sun, when you are happy, you are in alignment, and that is where everything begins to look a little brighter. But you do have to release all of your cares and worries to the ethers, knowing that it is detriment to your survival. You gotta be ready to make the right choices, right? We always have free will. The free will is what takes us to the things that we truly want to feel. As we begin to be the leader of our own experience, as the Emperor shows up, unlocking the doors and truly choosing to fill your cup. You have to take the key. You become the key that opens the door. As I've talked about before, I say love is the key that opens the door, okay? Loving on yourself unconditionally, showing up unconditionally, aligning to the things that truly do serve you, the things that make you feel your best, okay? And not ever settling for less. So we are going to tap into the ancestral cards for this, and then we're going to circle back around because I want to just get all the cards out and see what we can find out, okay? As it looks right now, the way it looks right now is that we need to make some choices to find that space of alignment, finding out truly what it is you want to do. I mean, I know we all have been talking about the answer is within you, but this is the Father of Fire, and it says passions ignited. This is that card too. You got to light your fire. You have to burn away the things that no longer serve. You have to get in alignment with the things that do and allow new seeds to be planted, if that's what it calls for. You know, renewing our minds, renewing our attitudes, renewing our thoughts, renewing our emotions to really begin to serve us in the highest frequency. That Father of Fire card is number 26, which is the day I was born. Oops, that one flew out. And we have the Noom Kumawani energy. That's what I call that card, which is the peacemaker. And it says persistent patience. You have to be in that energy to continue to move toward your goals. Even if it doesn't seem like it's working, you have to know that what you see is what you get. What you hope for is what will show up. And you just have to continue to move in the flow of your creative expression. Definitely saying you got to tap in so you don't do without. This is the creature of air. It's all about taking our emotions and really doing something productive with those emotions. Not allowing our emotions to dysregulate us, but for our emotions to regulate us and bring us into the wholeness of seeing our passion ignited. So we're going to tap into the book, and we're going to start from the bottom to the top, and then these 3 ancestral cards, and then we are going to, after the ancestral cards, pull some soul's journey cards just for a little bit more clarification. All right, so we are going to start with the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles, it's saying don't get caught up in the emotions that get you stuck, stagnant, and not be able to look up. Ooh. And know that what we think is holding us back, just because it's a closed door, doesn't mean that the key is not available. So don't get caught up in the emotions. Don't get caught up in the coulda, woulda, shouldas. Take the time that you need to ground yourself in the experience, but then use the key to open the door and find what else is in store. Because sometimes we go through a setback for a setup, y'all. Sometimes we go through a setback for a setup. And this says, doors that activate magical opportunities are always opening for me. Doors that activate magical opportunities are always opening for me. Are you willing to open the door? Because you truly are the main character and you get to play the game, but you do have to open the door. You can't stay in the complacency or in those places of sadness, of grief, of lack, of worry. You have to get in the game. That's what they're telling us. Put me in, coach, put me in. And this is the Emperor, number 4. It's time to get into the game where your passions are ignited. And it says, I lead the circumstances in my world with confidence, harmony, and generosity. I lead the circumstances in my world with confidence, harmony, and generosity. This is how we're aligning, y'all. We got to get in the game. We got to open the doors. And we have to make the choice, right? Make the choice. What are you wanting? What do you desire? Sometimes we make choices blindly, right? But you have to trust your intuition. You have to trust that things are always working out for us as this 7 of Cups shows up, okay? And the 7 of Cups says, my wildest imagination is a tool that I can use to inform my future in a down-to-earth way. How are you working with your creativity? How are you working with your passion? How are you working with unlocking the doors and not getting caught behind those closed doors and saying, oh, it just must not be for me? No, you have to move forward confidently, making sure that you let your imagination inform your world in a down-to-earth way, knowing that you can release the cares and worries along the way. Okay? They're not meant to go with you. Whatever is keeping you in this energy, release it. And know that you only have to pack what is needed. This is the 10 of Wands. So we are going into the 10 of Wands. And it says, I release my burdens into the ethers, knowing that the universe will help me tend to the essentials. Get it? I release my burdens to the ethers, knowing that the universe will help me tend to the essentials. You have to let go of those things that keep you out of flow, dysregulated, unaligned, feeling low. Let it go. If it makes you feel low, let it go. And then shine bright like a diamond. Then let your light shine as the sun shows up. And this sun card is saying, yes, you deserve all the good, all the blessings, all the wealth, success, health, and abundance that this world has to offer. But you have to go for it. You have to get up. You got to get up out of that sunken place. You got to get up out of your chair and do something that really does inspire you. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the cycles of life that's on repeat. Repeat, repeat, repeat. But if it's not moving you toward where you want to be, or if it's causing you to feel defeat, you got to let it go. And this says, I am whole. I am more than enough. I shine like the sun when I am happy. This is where we have to really get rooted in the things that make us happy, the things that make us glow, the things that we want to plant so that we can receive this abundant harvest as it begins to grow. It's not a one and done. As it showed up here, it's persistent patience that brings in the harvest. But it also takes utilizing your creative expression so that you can see that what you've planted is truly your blessing. And you have to be ready for it. You can't sleep on it. You can't say, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. You have to know that what you have planted is about to bring you the harvest. And be thankful for it. As it says, as I give thanks for what I am about to harvest, I know my life is headed in the right direction. This is where that alignment shows up. And this card is smack dab in the middle of the 7 cards. So once we know that our life is headed in the right direction, we truly can begin to rise exponentially. I made that up. But we rise to the occasion very quickly, okay? So this is being your own guru, your own guide, and you can rise to the other side and see what is in store. You know, knowing that everything is always working for us. And this says, I am my own guru, and the guidance I need is rooted in my faith, my belief, and my unique essence. I am my own guru, and the guidance I need is rooted in my faith, my belief, and my unique essence. So this is where it says, this girl is on fire. Are you being rooted in your I am? You know, that's what I teach about being rooted in your root chakra, which is I am. I am what? What follows your I am? Are you your own guru? Are you able to trust the words that you speak, the thoughts that you think, the actions that you take, and the beliefs that you believe? Are you able to trust that to move you into this energy, which is the Knight of Wands? So the Knight of Wands is like passion ignited, doing it and doing it and doing it well. It says, in pursuit of the imagined. This is all about this creative energy, y'all. In pursuit of the imagined, I manifest this fire with an infectious feeling of inspiration. You have to allow your inspiration to lead you. You have to let your passion move you forward. You know, sometimes it's easy to get caught up or discombobulated by what we see in this now reality. But these cards here are telling us that we are creating it. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome in, Just Kiki. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the love. Thank you for the likes. as we are joining into this partnership to know that everything is going to be all right. The moment you move out of this energy, this was the last card that came out. Okay? The moment we open that door of what to the unknown, we find that everything we need is there. And we can begin to partner with the things on the other side while releasing our cares and our burdens to the ether, knowing that when we are happy, we get what we desire. So the Two of Cups shows up and it says, Two of Cups. Two of Cups says, I thrive in partnerships and my heart leaps with joy when I connect. So what kind of partnerships are you in? Are you in partnerships that light you up, that set your soul on fire? As this creature, Father of Fire, shows up, are you ready to see your life change? Are you ready to go through the fire and not be burned? Hello. We gonna ring it in. This is where our passion is ignited, and it is supported by these two energies, okay? The peacemaker and the creature of water, which means it has to take patience and you have to be creative. But we're gonna read the Father of Fire first, which is number 26, which is my number, birthday, the day that I was born, on a 26th day of March, if you wanted to know. So I am all about the fire, okay? So the fire, it says, I am going for it. Are you willing to go for it? I said, alignment, please. Are you willing to go for it? It doesn't just drop in your lap. You have to do the work. And sometimes it might feel like you're under attack. But what do? We just straighten our crown. We get to see it even more clearly. We anchor in and we begin to water what we've planted. And we say, you know what? In spite of what it looks like, I'm going for it, okay? The ancestral medicine here said, this is the juicy yang energy. It is safe to take charge with motivated action. If you have issues with balancing your emotions, try some EFT, emotional freedom techniques, by tapping to help you relax into this leadership, okay? As the Emperor showed up. So we got to get our bodies ready. Get ready for what's coming. Get ready, get ready, get ready. And then be patient, okay? Be patient, but constantly pursue it, okay? So it says, passionate pursuit, okay? Where are we at? Number 14. Number 14 says, my life is aligned and I go with the flow. Y'all, we can't make this up. I chose alignment, please, as the title before I even knew what was going to come up. But this card here says we are in alignment. Once you begin to do what you know you're supposed to do, you are in alignment. So you just go with the flow. It says, my life is aligned and I go with the flow. The ancestral medicine here says, family healing is key with most issues of addiction and overindulgence. However, this is a journey you must first walk for yourself. You have to be the change you wish to see, and everyone else will follow after thee. All right? Stay the course. Stay the course, even when you don't see anyone else. But understand, those divine partnerships will show up. And then you can go at it together. What do they say? If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And this is talking about healing those generational or ancestral patterns that we've seen over and over and over, and we've repeated generation after generation after generation. It's time for us to now begin to do something different by embracing our own unique creative expression, finding that space that takes us into all things that we desire that may not look like anything that our family has experienced, but we are the ones who can do it. We are the people who can do it by creatively tapping in. And that is the number 29. And it says, creature of water. And it says, I am a creative force. We get to create it, y'all. We get to do it. We get to fly. We get to be the fairy. We get to be the change agent. We get to be the generational cycle breaker. And we get to show up in this, flying above the circumstance, seeing it how it needs to be, dropping a little color on it so it can be set free. All right? So it says, the ancestral medicine says, take time to experience. Creature of water saves us from ourselves with the fairy tale knight in shining armor energy, saving the damsel in distress. Are you moving too fast to reap the benefits of your blessings? Are you moving too fast? When I move, you move, just like that. Or are you taking time to water your harvest, looking at it, making sure that you have chosen to plant the right seeds, and then you're taking the time to watch it grow? It says this is the way that we see our dreams come true. It says, my child, how can you go back and reap your harvest? So we're moving out of this. We're opening the door and we're taking the leadership role, knowing that we get to do this. We get to play the game to win. All we do is win, 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 no matter what. Even if it seems a little shaky, baby, we still get to win. But we have to get up again and again and again. At first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. Because this is where your passion has to be ignited as you embrace being the guru, the guide, the all-knowing of what comes next. Utilizing your imagination and shining light on every subject and saying, you know what? How good can it get? Next, we're going to go into our soul's journey. Welcome in, Miss Divinity. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Thank you for the love. Thank you for the likes. If you are a content creator, please hit the heart me so you can get your points. And I can too, okay? Because I'm in here doing what I do. So we're going into our soul's journey. The first card out. Oh my God. We can't make this up. They have been telling us, utilize your imagination. That is how you set this world on fire. Utilizing the things that you desire in your mind space. It doesn't have to be in this reality yet because you are the one to bring it through. You are the one. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing what you do. You have to utilize your imagination. This is the wheel within the wheel. We have to tap in, tune in, turn on to what we've been shown and not sleep on it. You may have to burn some things down. Limiting beliefs, lack, stagnation, self-sabotage, unworthiness. Oh, you just changed your name. Okay, sis. I was like, just Kiki, you somebody else. But welcome in. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Utilizing our imagination. Oh, you got 2 pages. All right. Come through, just Kiki and perfectly made Kiki. One and the same. See, this is where you create in these new dimensions. You can pop in where you want to and use your imagination in the process. It says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. See, it took you using the creative aspects of your mind just to even get 2 pages. I didn't even think to do that, but here we are. So we are utilizing the creative aspects of our mind and we are nourishing it. It says we nourish them. So when you have a thought, understand a thought becomes a thing. No matter how long it takes, we have to stay the course, knowing that everything we desire is available. How good can it get? And look what just popped out, y'all. You can't make it up. Love is the key. Love is the answer. Love is all that we need to move forward in power, in purpose, and seeing our destiny. Okay? It says, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. What do I be saying? How good can it get? That will shift you to this upper room experience, even in the midst of chaos. I know it may sound crazy, but don't you know that your thoughts become things? Your energy flows where attention goes. So the moment you begin to default to, oh my God, I can't believe, whoop, 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 that's where your energy goes. And that's where the attention goes. And that's where you begin to go. So you have to shift it by tricking our mind through imagination to say, how good can it get? I'm down here, but I'm moving up. Even in the midst of chaos and destruction, how good can it get? That's a very easy shift and default. And it doesn't mean that you spiritually bypass the situation, because as the reading started, we do find ourselves in these places, right? Where everything just seems to weigh us down. But understand, even in the places where we feel like we don't know or the answer is not found, boom, there's the key. And what do I say? Love is the key that opens every door. So loving on ourselves first. Feeling into the feels. Like, hey, this does not feel good. Hey, grief is showing up immensely today. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to acknowledge it. But I get to choose whether I stay there. And I always deflect to, how good can it get? What is this here to teach me? What do I need to do differently? How can I become the fairy and rise above the situation and then embrace something different? Love is all there is. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I will get to your question shortly as our soul is confirming again patience. Patience, patience, imagination, love, and then patience, okay? And patience says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. This is such a beautiful reading. You know, knowing that we get to choose what comes next. We get to be the main character of our game. We get to unlock the doors with love. We get to use our creativity. Give thanks to bring forth the harvest that we desire. And we also get to express it by rising above it. You know, sometimes we have to be the smoke of the fire. Sometimes we have to get into the shadow of our life and say, okay, what limiting beliefs are there? What limiting beliefs, what are they called? Limiting beliefs, or what things that we think of that keep us stuck, you know, stagnation, lack, worry, those things that keep us stuck, we have to address them and say, okay, why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? And how can I choose something different? And this is all about choosing your happiness. Choose your happiness. Do something that makes you happy. Don't sit in those spaces of closed doors when it's time to set this world on fire. It's like jump up and get down. Don't turn those frowns upside down, and find people who will support you, who will speak life into you, who will give you the true love that you desire by seeing the good in it all. Yes, there's good and bad, but you have to be your own guru. You have to see it for yourself. You have to be willing to take the steps up. You know, you can always stay down here, but something is calling us up higher, higher and higher and higher. So when we feel down, we got to go up. When I stay down, I got to go up. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And it is a flow. It's inside out, all around, you know, but you get to choose. And our imagination is truly the tool. The imagination is what helps us move beyond this now experience, but to also attract that which we desire. I'm going to read it one more time. It says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. Because where you think is what you'll get. What you believe is what you will experience. So the moment you can shift into how good it can get, you will begin to find yourself in alignment. All right. I see a couple of questions in the chat. I will answer those as we close out this reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go into the soul's journey. And the first ones I will read for, is it Silk Wildy? What's your name, sis? You said, hello. Is my boyfriend, okay, Silk Wildy, is my boyfriend cheating and lying that he's not? Okay, if you feel like he's cheating, look, this card is already flipping over, and it says, it's up to you. If you feel like he's cheating, you got to trust your own intuition, unless you're dealing with some insecurities. But let's ask again, is he cheating? The next card is yes. Normally, Spirit gives us the signs, right? We know it, but we just doubt. But this says very clearly yes. So, you know, what you gonna do about it? What you want to do about it? If your boyfriend's cheating, you might need to have a conversation. Men will never, hardly ever admit when they have been caught. But your intuition, because we bring life to the world, we know we have this divine feminine connection to knowing. This crown on our head is the know. It comes down and we like, ooh, I feel it. Especially if y'all have been intimate. You and his spirit are one. So anything that's off, you're going to feel it. And you don't have to question it. But it's up to you what you going to do. Because sometimes, you know, cheating, a man cheating on us makes us reflect back to us, because remember, we never blame someone else. It's only to teach you what you need to know about you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What do you need to know about you? Do you feel that you are worthy of a relationship? Do you feel that you are worthy of not being cheated on? Do you feel that there's boundaries that you need to set? Or is it just time for someone else who's more in alignment with you? Because maybe it's not him. Okay? Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you for the love. Thank you for the likes, Kiki. I am truly, truly forever grateful for your support ever since we've met on here. This has been such a divine connection, and I'm always happy to see you. So thank you, thank you, thank you for the love. Thank you for the likes. So yes, Sadie, Silky Whitey, make your decision, sis. And you know when they lying. They ain't gonna tell you they lying, but you know. So it's not for you to even force him to say yes or no. It's for you to show him how he needs to treat you. And if he wants to cheat, then maybe he wants someone else, and it's no harm done, you know. But when you stay, you let him know that he is able to cheat on you. That's what I will say. We're going to ring that in. And this is one thing we as women do. We teach men how to treat us by the way that we respond to the way they treat us. Ayanna Van Zant said once, you can never tell someone how to treat you or how to love you, but you can accept it or not. And if you don't accept it, you have to move on. And know that someone else will treat you the way you want to be treated. But first, you have to be treating yourself that way as well. Men push us over because we don't stand up. Oh, I've been there, sis. I know. You know, being in these relationships, feeling like we can't get nothing better, squash it. This is us when we're in that vibration. We stay in toxic, dysfunctional relationships, and we have a key right there saying, just open the door. leave. Go to what will support you. And you will be amazed at what you will find. Sometimes you have to find you. Sometimes you have to come into this truth that you are your own guru and guide. But the way you feel about yourself attracts those people to show up in your life to mirror that back to you. That is what I learned. So you have to learn to show up for yourself differently so that you don't attract these same cycles of men who are not ready to commit because you're not ready to see yourself as worthy. Ooh. That's it for that. I hope that was helpful, sis. All right, Patricia. Is Willie being unfaithful with Jada? Girl, why you all up in somebody else's business? Who are these people, Patricia? Patricia is... Look, I need some clarification, Patricia. Who is Willie and who is Jada? Because we want to talk about Patricia's business. We don't be tapping into other people's business. Are you still here, sis? Patricia. Okay, Willie is your boyfriend. And who is Jada? Are y'all in a polygamous relationship or something? Who is Jada? Is Willie see, they ain't saying nothing. They need you to be clear that you are asking about your own situation. Oh, so you're asking. Okay, there it came clear. Okay, so Willie is your boyfriend, but you're asking, is he cheating with Jada? Okay, gotcha. Oh, and there went the cards. All right, they came on the floor, and this is how I picked them up. So the first one, this is the same as the last, same as it ever was. Trust your own intuition. Jada is supposed to be his friend, but maybe she's a friend with benefits. So maybe you're going to find out something more within the next few months, or you might just need to choose a new direction, sis. Those are the cards that came out. I mean, we as women suffer for not showing up. We have to teach these men how to get in alignment. And we only teach them by us showing up in alignment. When you feel something ain't right, 9 times out of 10, it's not right. Our gut feeling, our energy, and that connection that you have is gonna tell everything. That's the one thing men don't know. Once we become intimate with them, into me see. Into me see. That's intimacy. So we as women get to see into them. And they can see into us, but they too logical. So they think that if they cover in their steps, we won't know. But intimacy is all about, you get to see it. You get to see it. And you just have to trust it. And trust what feels right to you. Because this is where you have to move. When it doesn't feel right, when we have to second guess, when we have to say, oh my God, is he? That's putting us behind these closed doors. But your intuition will tell you the truth. And you have to move according to that. Because when you stay, you say you agree. Sometimes our not speaking our truth, sometimes when we stay in relationships where we know something is wrong and not stand up for ourselves, we get more of that. This is kind of like you reap what you sow. When you think that they're doing something and you don't put your foot down and act accordingly, you miss out on these divine relationships. I'm just going to say it like that. We miss out on those that are going to fill our cups. If it's insecurities that we are working with, these people come into our life to show us it. Do you feel that you're worthy? Do you feel that you should be able to be in a committed relationship? Are you showing up in a way that you are showing them how to treat you? By saying, hey, This is what I'm not going to tolerate. And then setting clear boundaries. Because one thing about relationships, especially when we're dating, we get caught up in these relationships like we're already married. And that is not the case. We do not have to stay. We do not have to stay. And we get to choose how we will align to what comes next. Don't keep yourself behind closed doors of limiting relationships. If a man is willing to cheat, if a man is willing to not value you, you have to look at how you are valuing yourself and then begin to show up differently, maybe in the next relationship. Or stand your ground with this one, and if he's still a little shaky, let it go. Release. It says when we are going to pursue our passion, we have to release our cares and worries to the ethers. Don't even put no more attention to it. He showed you what he was about, and it wasn't about you. So trust what you feel. But if it's insecurities that you're feeling and you're just like, oh, he's spending more time with her than me, then think about where you are connecting. How is it that he's filling your cup? Or are you filling his cup? Is it equal? What is Jada doing differently? You know, maybe Jada is just the girl who he wants to be with. Who knows? But you have to choose you. All right? We gonna shake that in, shake that in, shake that in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are all my divine reflections. I have been there, done that, and had to really go in and start doing my own personal work. And it's not easy, but for sure, persistent patience does bring us what we desire. You have to be 10 toes down and not wiggling it for you, loving yourself unconditionally and not allowing anything else to come through. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hey, Jordan, I remember. I think that's you. Okay, when did you have your spiritual awakening? I'm curious. So I would say my spiritual awakening started maybe I would say I got really, really deep into it. Maybe a good 7 years ago. 7 years ago probably is when I really started doing tarot cards. And I first started by pulling them for myself. And I was like, you know, I was very, very much a Christian, right? I was very much into God, Jesus, and all of that. But I was told, because I heard the voice of God, I knew that I had spiritual gifts from a long time ago, but they were sideswiped as being of the devil. So I was like, I ain't gonna mess with none of that because I'm about God and Jesus and all of that. But it was a time that I was reading my Bible and I heard God, as I knew him, say, leave the church. And you know us, you know me from church. So I'm like, yeah, leave the church. What? I don't think I want to leave the church. So I was like, God, is you telling me to leave the church? And then I heard a scripture, because this is how God would speak to me. It would be like the verse or the chapter and the verse. And I went and looked at the verse and the chapter. I was like, do you really want me to leave the church? And the verse that came up, I can't even tell you where it's found, but I know what it said. It says, my sheep know my voice, and no other will they follow. And I knew the voice of God saying leave. So when I left the church, that's when my spiritual awakening really began to come forth. Because I was one that studied to show myself approved. I took notes in church. I read my scripture. I read my Bible. I did all of that. And me and God was here. I was a prayer warrior. I was in there. But when I began to see that the stories and the message was on repeat, it was like, you should be getting meat, but you still on milk. And I'm like, no, but I'm looking for the meat. Where it at? Although I don't eat meat anymore. But I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, greater works shall you do. And I'm like, okay, where they at? Where are the greater works? And then God began to show me that there's another way of interpreting the scripture that is way beyond religion. It is a metaphysical story. That's why all of the stories of different religions are the same. You have the hero, you have the villain, you have the people who are being supported by God, and you have the people that are against God, and it's the same story. But what it really equates to is the battle within. It's the battle within our own being, as not identifying ourselves as God, as the creators, as one with God. And when I began to tap into that, everything began to open up. And even with tarot cards, he's like, God, the God that I used to speak to as the God, the creator, the source, all of that. He said, everything is a tool. It can be used for evil or it can be used for good. Just as the Bible, just as religion, just as anything else. So when you tap into the Spirit of God within you, anything can be used. He said he can make the rocks cry out. Hallelujah. Okay. So yes, I've just enjoyed the journey and really stayed connected and grounded in the root of love. God is love. If that is all he is, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. You can't put a religion on it. You can't say that it's this or that it's that. It is love. And it's universal love found in you, in me, and us beginning to expand that across all frequencies. Okay? And once you tap in and say, hey, Lord, where's the greater works? It's going to shake your whole world up. Okay? You said, I love that. I had to realize that God isn't outside of ourselves. Like they try to keep. Yes! That is what keeps us bound. That is what keeps us behind this closed door with the key. Oh, we're going to ring that in. No longer am I behind the door with the key. I'm entering in. And these are the greater works. This is when you can truly harness the God essence in you. God in you, working for you, around you. God is everything, right? But we are the creators of our experiences based on our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions. Period. Point blank. And God supports it all. Even the things that we think are not good, right? It's needed. And my book, look, God done came in and gave me some word, okay? So I wrote this book, Aligned and Crowned, The Wheel Within the Wheel. This can be for men and women, but it talks about our universal energy, right? And our God essence and how we are given free will, right? And the free will is what allows our life to move in alignment with universal law. So universal law says, first and foremost, all is mind. Everything is in your mind. Everything starts in the mind. Thoughts become things. And when you speak it, then it begins to manifest. So this is the word becoming manifest in us. We are the word became manifest. And we've been given authority to reign and rule in this dimension. And it is so beautiful. It is, Jordan. It is so, so beautiful. And it doesn't look like anybody else or the way anyone else would say do it. It's a personal walk as the Hierophant shows up. You have to be your own guru, your own guide, and you have to follow what's on your inside in love, in a space of love, and in a space of reverence of all that God has created. No separation, no one to tell you or judge you for how you show up, because it's your world. And you get to choose. This is the true free will. The only thing that separates us from God is our lack of knowing that he's within us. Even scripture tells us you no longer live. It is Christ, God, who lives in you. You are not your own. All of that is allegory. It is all just pieces of the puzzle that we have to pull together and really live it out loud. This is really how we see the greater works. And it's you and me. Okay? So I love that you have allowed me to share this in this space, because some people never know where you come from, right? We don't even know where we come from, but all I know is that I'm not waiting to die to get the blessings that God said is for me. I want them now. I want them now here on earth, and I get to choose it every day when I say, how good can it get? and God is all there is. And I'm allowed love to lift me to the places where I need to be set free. Working with this book and the archetypes that also support me, which is the warrior of light, the priestess of the path, the dream weaver, the oracle, the messenger, all 5 of them, y'all. We all have these energies working in us and through us. We have to just say, okay, let's do this and set this world on fire. This girl is on fire. And then bring it through. And then you truly will see everything that you've planted will show up for you, no matter what. Don't shrink back. Don't allow someone else to tell you something that doesn't align and doesn't feel right. You go with what feels right to you. And understand that religion has its role to play too. I say I'm so thankful for the foundation of even knowing that there was such thing as a God. But I did take it seriously. I wanted what was due me. And I wanted to have it no matter what. And I knew that there was something greater than me. But to know that it's also inside me and it's in him, in her, that I live, move, and have my being, that is consciousness. Period. That's all it is. Consciousness. Be aware. And go within so you don't have to do without. And I'm going to shout out this reverend. He's a metaphysical preacher called Reverend Ike. And he has this book called The Science of Mind. The Science of Mind Philosophy. And then this other preacher that I know of named Casey Corbin. He has this congregation of people called Only Grateful People, and we talk about the metaphysics of the Bible, and he breaks it down in ways that I never understood before. That isn't condemnation, that it isn't fire and brimstones. It's about really understanding the mind. And Reverend Ike started this way back in 1970 something. Well, it started with Neville Goddard or Abdullah somebody even before Neville Goddard. But study these metaphysical preachers. Study these people who they say is new age, but it's ancient, okay? And then before it began to put people in a box and try to control them. But it is all is mine. And those are the things when I left the church, I began to study out those things as God brought it to me, because I didn't even know where to look. But Neville Goddard, Abraham Hicks, Reverend Ike, one more, his name is right on the tip of my tongue. He's still here today. He preaches. Ooh, I can't think of his name, but he's along the lines of Neville Goddard. But yes, Joanne Hicks, Joanne Hay, there's lots of metaphysical teachers out here, and they just opened it all up for me. And I still say, I honor my beginnings, but that's not where it ends. I'm coming from behind the door, and I'm doing something different. And hopefully you can too. So until next time, I'm your soul sister speaking out and fixing crowns in the process. If you haven't already, go over to YouTube, like my channel, like my page, Circle of Sisters Table Talk Podcast, where you can find all of these readings that I'm going to be doing for the next 365 days. I am on day number 147, and I'm just showing up, playing with my little girl and inspiring myself in the process. So until next time, peace and love. Enjoy your night.